Hi everyone. In today's video, I want to talk to you about a great exercise that I use with my clients who are in intercultural relationships. So previously I worked as a couples therapist for clients who are in intercultural relationships. And when I use that word, sometimes what other people say is international relationships, multicultural relationships, and intercultural is just the more official term for it. It's basically when you and your partner are from coming from different cultures. And often that includes different countries and maybe even different languages, or different native languages at least. And so I previously worked as a couples therapist for these types of clients, and now I work as a coach, and I still work with clients living around the world, and many who are in intercultural relationships. And also I will say when I lived in Madrid for a few years, and while I was there I ran a support group for women who were in intercultural relationships. And so I have a few tools that I really like to use with my clients because I know firsthand just how challenging these types of relationships can be. I mean, sure, it's really exciting to, let's say you go abroad and you fall in love with somebody from another country. But it is really exciting, and of course it tends to be something that family and friends back home are excited about, although sometimes not. That is another challenge that can come up at times, the reaction of family if you share that you're in an intercultural relationship. But sometimes family can think like, oh, that sounds so romantic, how exciting that you met somebody while living abroad, or how exciting that you're going to move abroad to be united with somebody who isn't from another country or culture. And it's true, of course, there's like any good love story, right? Like any good relationship, there are really wonderful things that come with these kinds of relationships, and there's so much room for learning and for growth and for coming to understand one another. But they're full of challenges as well. And I recently shared some of those challenges on my social media accounts. Just the fact, like I'd already said, family sometimes doesn't agree with it. You can have sometimes if you're from different countries, then that can mean difficult conversations about where are we going to live. It can also, with different cultural traditions, it's about which traditions will you be celebrating, maybe what language will you be speaking in, and then if you have children, how will you be raising them, and how will you what language will you be speaking to them in. So there's just so many different conversations to have, and unfortunately most of us didn't get taught really great communication skills for romantic relationships growing up, and often we don't. Our ideas about what constitutes a good relationship come from rom-coms or Disney movies, and so those, that combination there just tends to really not be great when you're also bringing in the challenges of creating a life with somebody from a totally different culture and country than you. So like I said, I know firsthand the challenges because I'm married to somebody who's from another country. I grew up myself in the United States, and I moved abroad to Madrid, now about 11 years ago, and I lived there for a while. I was in an intercultural relationship for quite some time with somebody who was from Spain, and that relationship didn't work out. But soon after that, I met who's now my husband, and he grew up in Venezuela himself. And it was my first time living abroad in another country and dating somebody who wasn't from that country. And what I found was that it was a really, it actually offered us a lot of advantages, I think, because we were both kind of in neutral territory, right? We were both away from home. And we had also both been in another intercultural relationship before. And so I think we were just a bit more aware of the importance of having some of these conversations, and just about the fact that there are so many different ways to do things, right? Whereas, you might grow up seeing like, this is how meals work in a family, or this is how, couples speak to one another. And, we just both had kind of seen, okay, there are a few different ways to do this. So, not to say that it's been totally smooth sailing though. Relationships are challenging, relationships are difficult, and I think that's just such an important thing to keep in the forefront of our minds, is the fact that they're full of challenges and they require continual investment of energy and time to help them continue to run smoothly. So this exercise I want to share with you today is a really great exercise for getting on the same page with your partner. It's designed to help you have some of these conversations that are so important to have when you're in an intercultural relationship, and you might just take for granted. You might assume that you're both on the same page. And what it's called the Relationship Vision Agreement. And you're going to design a sort of a mission statement of sorts with your partner about what you want your relationship to look like and what's important to you. So you can start off doing it completely on your own, get started brainstorming, or you can do it with your partner. You can set aside some time together and do it. And what you're going to do is you're going to each grab a piece of paper. You could also do it, on your smartphone, your tablet, whatever works for you. And you're each going to create a list about what isn't, like, things that are important to you in the relationship. You want to use present tense. So for instance, we eat dinners together. We celebrate one another's holidays. You could even get specific about what those holidays are. We make an effort to communicate, to spend time communicating in one another's languages. And you want to make them positive too. So for instance, a common one is couples will want to write like, we never fight, or we don't fight. First of all, that's a whole other topic. Fighting in relationships is actually really beneficial. It can help bring you closer and help you to understand one another. But there are kind of healthy ways to fight and unhealthy ways. So instead of writing something like, we don't fight, try to phrase it positively, like, we resolve our differences in a mature way, we fight fairly, whatever works best for you. But you don't want to make it like, I don't want this, I don't want that. We want to like think about, what things do you want to have in your relationship? So you each do your list. Whatever, like I said, you can get as specific as you want. I would really encourage you for this to work in an intercultural relationship. I think it's even best if you can make it as specific as possible, just to make sure you are on the same page. And then you're going to come together and you're going to take a look at each other's lists. So when you do that, you do want to be marking off, what are the things that we have in common. So go ahead and underline those, the things that you see that you have in common. But try not to worry. Try not to focus too much on the things that you don't have in common yet. See if there are some things that your partner has written down that inspire you, that you think, oh yeah, I actually really like that. I would really like to include that on my list too. And copy them. I would just use it as inspiration to add to your own list too. So you're going to do that. You're going to compare it, underline the things that you have in common, and then you're going to go back to your list and you're going to circle 2 to 3 things that are like essentials for you, the most important things for you in your relationship. And after you do that, I want you to go through and also look at, what are maybe some of the things that you would love to have, but that are going to be really challenging, right? So maybe one of the things is we each visit our families 2 times a year. That might, for many, many couples, that might just not be feasible with vacation time and money as well, to make those type of trips every year. So whatever that looks like, or maybe it's, we have a date night once a week. Maybe that's not possible either, but maybe it could be something, there is a way that you can alter it and make it more feasible. So put a check mark next to those ones that seem a bit more difficult. And then you're going to come back with your partner and you're going to start making your list together. So this is where you're going to start making that combined relationship vision. You're going to start at the top and you're going to put the things first that you both have in common, kind of the things that come a bit easier, right? And you can change the wording and you can kind of decide together, what does that wording sound like? Which sort of version do you like? Or do you want to meld your things together that are similar? And then at the very bottom, put the things that you both agreed that are going to be, you would love to have, but are going to be really challenging. And then you're going to have some things there in between that are going to be things that you need to compromise on. So especially starting with those things that you circled, that are those things that are really important to you and are really priorities for you in the relationship. Those are things you're really going to want to work on and compromise and try to figure out a way that you can do this together and make that part of your vision. And then you'll have some things too that you might decide together, like, we don't need to have this on the list, or we can alter the wording and change it a little bit to make it fit on our list. Now, I know people who actually have different kinds of routines around this and will go back and revise their relationship vision once a year. So I can't say that I have a routine like that set up. I think that that's really admirable and I'm sure is so good for your relationship. And if that's your style, I would really encourage you to do that, because relationships evolve and we change and we grow. And so it is important, whatever you're writing down now, in 5 years, 10 years from now, might not still be that might not be the same fit, and you might just want to come back. And I think, again, this is such a great conversation starter, and it's something that it's an activity you can share with your partner, and it can be something like for you to use just to help you to discuss some of these things that you might just assume you're on the same page about, and you might not be. So I would love to hear your thoughts about this activity. Please let me know if you give it a try. I know a lot of times when I give these exercises, people will also tell me, I tweaked it a little bit, we did it this way. I love hearing that as well, because sometimes I can bring those things to my clients too and share them with them. So I'd love to hear from you. Write me a comment, send me a message. And enjoy your time with your partner, creating this shared relationship vision for your own special relationship. All right, take care. Have a great week. Bye.